Hi peeps. So this is a Fauxbonichi. I have joined a Fauxbonichi group on Facebook and I decided to start making or working on a Fauxbonichi. And the ladies in the group have asked me to do a flip through of my week. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. The journal is a Miguel Ruiz journal from Barnes & Noble. And the cover is a duct tape cover that I made myself, and the closure is simply just an elastic band. Please ignore the snorts. It is Snickers. She's trying to help. The cover is removable if I need it to be, so I can change it out if I want. Here we'll start with the month. There's Snickers. So over on the Facebook page, one of the ladies did pictures for the days of the month just to highlight, and I took that idea and stole it because I liked it. So these are just highlights from each of the days of the week. As you can see, I started on the 14th. So the basic setup is kind of like the Fauxbonichi setup. However, I did change some stuff. So I have the day, the date, the day. Here is actually the phases of the moon in the Fauxbonichi, but I decided to change it to how I feel that day. And then the weather, of course. I like seeing the weather change because it is Texas, and there is Snickers. And as they say, if you don't like the weather in Texas, stick around, it'll change in about 5 minutes. So on the 14th, it was Friday, and I was off of work, yay, but I was a little annoyed, as you can see, because I had to go to the DMV to renew my license. So I went to the DMV, and after my adventures there, I headed to Barnes & Noble to pick up my journal to start my Fauxbonichi. My daughter went to spend the night at someone's house, so my husband and I decided to pick up Whataburger, since he didn't really want to cook for the both of us, and usually on Fridays we eat out anyway. And then I have a little section for quotes for whatever inspires me that day. So this one was, the word listen contains the same letters as the word silent. And on Saturday I slept in till 9 a.m., which is a rarity in this house, especially with 2 dogs and a child. But I didn't have to pick my daughter up until 11, so after I picked her up, she decided she wanted to make dinner. So her and her father were making dinner. Of course, that's her and her 2 different colored socks, which she does wear around the house. She decided to make spaghetti and meatballs. So she made spaghetti, meatballs, green beans with new potatoes, and garlic bread. The quote today was, "What you create doesn't have to be perfect." And in this book, I've learned that because I've never done chibis before, so I decided to try a chibi style. Then on Sunday, we went to church. I actually work at a nursery at the church, so we took the kids outside to feed the birds. As you can see, it was 48 degrees was the high, so that was really fun taking the kids outside, but we thought that the birds needed the food, so we went out and fed them. Our dinner was roast that my husband made, lima beans, and Parmesan mashed potatoes. Those were the yummiest. And the quote today is, "How people treat other people is a direct reflection of how they feel about themselves." Then on Monday, this is when I made the cover for my Fauxbonichi. I just took duct tape, sheet protectors, and made the cover. Yay! My husband got creative too. He took an old pair of underwear and tied them in a knot and made a dog toy for our dogs, which they love to tug it and play with it. The dinner tonight was tamales with chili, cheese, and beans. And the quote is, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Then on Tuesday, I actually had to go into work this day. And this first section I had a colleague of mine who actually moved to Las Vegas. So she had a deal with me where she would send me quotes and I would write them on the whiteboards at work. So she sent me a list of quotes because she hasn't sent any in a while, and I only go into the office every so often. It's not every day. So she sent me a list of quotes saying she couldn't decide. Well, I couldn't decide either, so I wrote all of the quotes on the whiteboard. My boss actually brought chocolate chunk cookies with pecans for a meeting because she had us come in for an afternoon meeting, and she is the best boss ever. Our dinner that night was leftover roast sliced on an onion roll with chips as a side. And the quote is, "You don't always need a plan. Sometimes you just need to breathe, trust, let go, and see what happens." Wednesday, we had a nice little adventure with our smoke detectors. They kept going off in the house. They went off like 5 times during the day and like 3 or 4 times at night. And finally we got irritated and we changed the batteries. My husband had brought home some batteries from work, and apparently those batteries were not as charged as they should have been. So we picked up some batteries at the store, and we are good now. No alarms going off. I dropped off his dry cleaning. I usually drop it off on Tuesdays, but as I went into work, he forgot to drop it off, so I dropped it off. And then, yay, I was taking the trash out, and the UPS man pulled up, and he had a box for me. So in that box was Neil Patrick Harris's Choose Your Own Autobiography from Simon & Schuster. I do book reviews, and they sent me a copy in exchange for an honest review. Yay! So I'll have fun reading that. Taco Tuesday was rescheduled to Wednesday because my husband forgot to set out the meat. So not only did he forget to take his clothes, he forgot to set out the meat. The quote for today is, "Whenever you find yourself doubting how far you can go, just remember how far you have come. Remember everything you have faced, all the battles you have won, and all the fears you have overcome." Thursday. So Thursday, I actually went to Michael's, and I scored a watercolor set. Yay! It's the pearlescent set. It was $6, and I had a 50% off coupon, so I got it for $3. And I love using it, as you can see through some of the items later on. I'll use it as backgrounds or to color things in. I was digging through the pantry, and I found some tea that I hadn't had before, mangosteen tea. I actually had mangosteens for the first time when I went to the Philippines for work, and loved the fruit, so pulled out the tea, added some Splenda and some milk, and it was yummy in my tummy. Quote is, "Keep some room in your heart for the unimaginable." Friday, my husband decided to go visit his father, who lives 3 hours away. So it was a girls' weekend, little mini girls' weekend, because he was coming back Sunday morning. So my daughter and I decided to go to Super Salad for dinner, and then after that, she wanted to pump gas. So I let her pump my gas, and I thought about if I remembered the first time I pumped gas, and unfortunately I couldn't remember the first time I pumped gas, but I hope that she remembers her first time because she had so much fun doing it. And the quote for today is, "You have to fight through some bad days to earn the best days of your life." And you did see this little writing pad, and that is just a report cover that I cut down to size. So I picked up a report cover for like 90 cents at the store, and it works perfectly. So I can just use it to write on if I need to. So now I have to work on this next week, but I hope you guys liked the flip, and as always, comments are welcome, and I'll see you later. Bye!